Thanks so much, ladies. That's the cheer squad from South Grand Prairie. We want to thank them for bringing some of that playoff energy. And here we go. Welcome to Friday Night Football, fifth quarter here on WFAA Plus. We are all about Friday Night Lights, but especially this time of year. It is week one of the playoffs. I'm at the Gopher Warrior Bowl. South Grand Prairie taking on Lake Highlands tonight. It's the sixth time in a row that these two teams have faced each other in the bi-district round, the first round of the playoffs. It is just one of many games that we will bring to you on this night. We've got our Friday Night Football offering. Of course, Mike Leslie's always on the call for that one. That turned out to be a good one between Anna and Mansfield Timberview. We've also got our Michelle Montaine. She was there at Jesuit against Arlington Lamar. And let's start right there with Michelle because, you know, when you look back at the Rangers' regular season, it wasn't stellar by any means, but boy, did they ever start the postseason with a bang. Tell us all about it, Michelle.
Well, interesting you bring that up, Joe, because we got to catch up with a couple of these Rangers players post-game, and the first thing they mentioned was the struggle that they got off to this season offensively, but that was not the case in what we saw out of them tonight. Now, as you said, these are two very evenly matched teams coming into this game. Both teams with 5-5 records. Of course, both of them trying to get to the area round of playoffs if they could get past one another in this game. Now, the Rangers trying to make the most of their home field advantage in this one. It was a rowdy crowd here inside of Rangers Stadium. On the first drive, the fourth play of the game, Shane Parker takes it in from 9 yards out to give Jesuit an early 7-0 lead. Now, Arlington Lamar was hanging tough, though. Jaden Shaw, after taking a sack on 4th and 6, hits Kamorian Richmond for a 23-yard touchdown, and we're all tied up at 14 at the end of the first quarter. But Jesuit was having their way offensively. Shane Parker doing it all. On one of the very many handoffs that he took, he had a 70-yard run all the way to the Vikings 4. Now, he would finish with 124 rushing yards. That drive would stall in the red zone, but would result in a field goal. And on the very next Rangers possession, Jesuit quarterback Beck Berry punches it in to make it a 10-point lead early here in the second quarter. And from there, they just continued to roll. Beck Berry was doing it through the air as well. He hits Cade Kirby, who does the rest, 67 yards to the house. Jesuit hangs 65 on him. 65-41 is your final. The Rangers on to the next round, and we got to catch up with some of those offensive stars after the game. We just got to start with the fact that you guys won your first playoff game of the playoffs. How much does this mean to you, being, you know, some seniors who have meant so much to this program?
I mean, it means a lot, you know, being in this program for 4 years, giving it my all, getting a playoff win, you know, it's really substantial to me, and, you know, it means a lot, but we still got more to come.
As the quarterback, what did it mean to you?
I mean, we started off the season pretty rough. Offense was a little slow, but, I mean, put up 65 points, 70 points right there. Can't ask for more. I'm really appreciative.
And for you, I'm just going to start with, like, what's most impressive about the three people here is that you had almost 300 yards through the air. You had over 100 through the air. You had 100 on the ground. I mean, let's start with you. What was working for you guys tonight?
Just execution. We came into practice Monday, and we just, you know, we repped through a lot of plays, and we all just trust each other. This whole year we've had really good chemistry, and we just tried to build up off that every year, and right now we're peaking at a good moment. And
what was working for you?
You know, kind of just, you know, following the plays that the coach are calling, you know, following my linemen. Our linemen played great today, great tonight. I should have the whole lineman up here right now to talking to them, but, you know, just following my linemen, trusting my quarterback to make plays, trusting our defense to get out there, get us back on the field, and yeah, that's about it.
When it comes to knowing that you either win in advance or you lose and your season's over, how much pressure does that add to the game?
I mean, we go in it with the same mentality every week. I mean, we're just going to give all we got, every play. I mean, yeah, pretty much.
All right, last one. It's going to you.
Okay, I got you.
How does it feel to put up over 60 on a team in the playoffs?
Man, it feels amazing. I mean, everybody, you know, there's so many people who wish for this moment and the opportunity to come in the playoffs in front of their home fans and stuff like that. So, like, just coming here is a blessing because we had a bunch of support. Everybody had a bunch of energy, and it was just amazing. Now we just got to keep going.
Y'all, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Y'all take care. Have a good night.
Jesuit had over 450 yards and 62 points by the end of the third quarter. Of course, at that point, some of the backups got to see the field, which is fun for them as well in a playoff setting, an experience that is invaluable down the road. But we do have to give some flowers to Jaden Shaw, the quarterback for Arlington Lamar. Guys, down by 40 plus, he took some big hits in this game, and he was still dropping dimes. He was still fighting. Obviously, the Viking season comes to an end, but he was very impressive in this game. And as a junior, he has still another year to try to make a run for Arlington Lamar here in the postseason. But this one goes to Jesuit. They are on to the next round. And Joe, you asked how it was over here. It was certainly a fun one between two teams who really wanted to advance to the next round of the playoffs.
Yeah, great stuff there. Big night for the Rangers. Meanwhile, back here at the Gopher Warrior Bowl, this just doesn't happen in Texas high school football. For the 6th straight year, South Grand Prairie and Lake Highlands squared off in the bi-district round, so it's kind of a different type of rivalry. It's not a district rivalry, but it still is a rivalry nonetheless. And let's get you to the highlights in this one, because it was a lot of defense early on in this ball game until this first play of the second quarter. It's Dalen Brooks, and he's going to go big fly to Ryan Goss. Great hook up here, 53 yards, and SGP goes up 7-3. Lake Highlands would answer with special teams, though. They get the block punt here. Now watch, they couldn't corral it, close to being a touchdown, but it goes out of the back of the end zone for a safety, and the Wildcats were up 8-7 at the half. I said defensive ball game. Then in the second half, it turns into a track meet. We pick it up with the first drive of the second half. It's Lake Highlands QB, Chuck Smith. He's looking, and yeah, there he is. He finds a wide open Franklin Evans. Cats open a 15-7 lead at that point, but the Warriors answer. It's Dalen Brooks to Cade Wallace for the 15-yard touchdown. SGP gets the 2-point conversion, and that ties it at 15. Back and forth this game would go, and I mean back and forth and back and forth. Right here, it's Smith again hitting Christian Rhodes. He weaves through the defense, hits the Jets. He's going to go 90 yards for the touchdown, and as they went back and forth, Wildcats take it tonight in a wild one. The final, 43-36. Hey, Coach, I'm out here every Friday night at these ball games. That may have been the best game I've seen all season. How did your team dig down deep to give what it took to win that game?
Yeah, it was a tale of two halves. Both defenses played extremely well in that first half, and then made a few adjustments. They did as well. We just challenged our kids at the end of the day, not think about the end result. Just this play be 1-0, the next play be 1-0, and just keep on. And, man, they did that tonight, and I'm super proud of those guys.
What was said in the locker room, right? Because your offense came out absolutely on fire, and they just kept firing for the entire second half.
Yeah, we did make a few adjustments, and then we're going to give our kids a lot of credit. They made a lot of plays. We were able to mix it up a little bit, run and pass, I think it really helped us with that balance in the second half.
They got after Chuck Smith in that first half, but he showed great resilience in continuing to come back time and time again.
Yeah, did really well. There was a couple times he scrambled and made some we made a 4th down play down here on our sideline, and, I can't say enough about that. And our O-line played really well. Franklin Evans played unbelievable. Christian Rhodes, just super proud of them, and our defense is kind of been our backbone all year long. And so, I'm just so happy for our kids.
And it's gold ball season too, Coach. It's hard to beat gold ball season.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that.
Joining me now, Lake Highlands quarterback Chuck Smith. Chuck, man, I guess that took just about everything you had on this night, right?
Yeah, everything. Oh my gosh, I'm out of breath. I'm put everything into it. Yes, sir.
What was said at halftime, right? Because this was a defensive battle in that first half, and you guys were able to pull it together and really get some serious work done in that second half offensively.
Yes, sir. We made some, little adjustments, not too many. We stuck to the game plan, and we executed.
One of the best in the nation.
What does that gold ball mean to you, Chuck? I mean, it's gold ball season, always a fun time of the year.
Yeah, it meant so much. We needed this so bad. We felt like we got robbed in district, and we needed this. We needed this for team morale, and we're going to come back and go hard next week.
And listen, for Lake Highlands and South Grand Prairie, I mean, when you think about what this has become, 6 straight seasons in by district, to win a barn burner like this, to kind of put a punctuation mark on what has become a rivalry, how do you put it into words?
I can't really. I mean, I can't believe 6 in a row is crazy. I mean, oh my goodness. When we knew we were coming here, we saw it as a challenge, because the last 3 or 2 have been at home, and I'm glad we executed, man. I'm so happy, man.
All right, how do you keep it going, Chuck? What's next?
Just keep our heads down and do the same thing we did. Just prepare, rest, get healthy, and then go back again, Yes, sir.
Man, Chuck Smith was really spent after this ball game, and he had every reason to be, because it was a defensive battle in that first half, and for both teams to go into the locker room and make those small adjustments that Smith mentioned, and to come out and put on this type of game. It was like this incredible surprise for everyone watching. Nobody saw it coming, and it just turned out to be a fantastic ball game, back and forth. I mean, they were just throwing haymakers back and forth. And listen, let's switch gears now, because as these playoffs began, there was another by-district matchup that was really intriguing, because when you think about 3-5A Division II against 4-5A Division II, 8 teams, of course, made it from those 2 districts to the playoffs. 7 of those 8 teams were either state-ranked or area-ranked. So great stuff, great football. Let's start with this one. It would be Argyle hosting Lovejoy. Argyle actually won 3-5A in this one, and they actually showed why tonight. First quarter, it's McGuire Gasperson rolling to his right, and he finds Jake Murphy in the end zone. It's a 10-yard touchdown for a 7-zip lead. Argyle's offense would stay hot on the next possession. Nathaniel Bruce takes the handoff, makes a man miss, and he puts on the Jets on the sideline. He goes as long as you can, 99 yards for the touchdown to make it 14-0 after 1. And then the Eagles pour it on. Gasperson to Julian Caldwell for the 44-yard score. Gasperson has 4 total touchdowns in the first half alone. Argyle wins big, 56-zip, the final there. Elsewhere, Richardson Berkner in the postseason again, taking on Arlington Bowie. The Volunteers would strike first in this one. Jaden Bibbs, he finds Maxwell Nichols for the 10-yard score. That made it 7-zip Volunteers. Berkner answers back, though. Ensuing drive. Chance Brown finds a seam and races to the end zone for a 7-yard touchdown. We're all tied at 7 after 1. In the second quarter, more from the Rams. Daquan Dunn finds Tay Creathers for the 34-yard touchdown. Extra point no good, so it's 13-7. But then right before the half, Dunn finds Creathers again, this time for a 14-yard score. Berkner heads into the half up 20-7, and the Berkner Rams keep their season going with a 30-28 win on this night. And I mentioned that intriguing matchup between 3-5A Division II and 4-5A Division II, and that made for a great football game tonight on Friday Night Football. Of course, our Mike Leslie was on the call. Hey, Mike, tell us all about Anna against Mansfield Timberview.
Hey, Joe, thanks. Yeah, this did turn out to be a terrific football game. As you mentioned, these 2 districts, 2 of the very best in the state in 5A Division II. We knew each of these 4 first-round games between District 3 and District 4 would turn out to be competitive football games, and this one was super competitive from the word go. Let's show you the highlights from this one tonight. 8-7, Mansfield Timberview led in the early stages. Late first quarter, the deep shot. Stephen Hall for Chance Collins, the Texas A&M commit. 61 yards for the touchdown. 15-7 Timberview led in the first quarter. Anna would respond, though. A couple of scores around a field goal from Timberview. This was a terrific throw from Zy Williams to Bray Spinks. 49 yards, 21-18 at halftime. Third quarter, more from the Coyotes. Zy Williams led this team to a state championship as a sophomore in 4AD1. He's still doing it as a senior, and this time Cormont Houston was wide open for a 44-yard touchdown, 28-18. Timberview would respond, though. Hall to Barnett in the front corner of the end zone. A terrific catch, gets the toes in bounds for the touchdown. 28-25, late third. Into the fourth, still a 3-point game. But Cash Williams, after the run here by Zy Williams to get him close, would find the end zone. Williams got him to the 2, and eventually Cash Williams would score, and then Zy Williams with the run here late in the fourth to salt it away. Timberview could have kicked a field goal to make it a 1-score game with about 2 minutes left. Instead decided to go for a touchdown on 4th and goal from the 4 and couldn't make the connection. And as a result, The Anna Coyotes get the win, 35-25 the final. Zy Williams and company moving on, Joe, to the second round.
Wow, it sounds like a really good ball game. I've had a chance to see Zyandre Williams play. Mike, I'm curious your thoughts on a quarterback like that who's such a great dual threat. He can do it with his arm, he can do it with his legs. How far you think he can take that Anna team?
I think the sky is the limit for this kid and for this Anna team, and it's because of Zyandre Williams. Because he is the kind of kid that keeps a defensive coordinator up at night. He can do all the things you need him to do when the play is on schedule. He can throw it anywhere on the football field. He can run the read options. He can run the football himself. But where he is elite is when the play gets off schedule, when things break down and he has to freelance. Good luck trying to slow this kid down, because he has the moves and he has the speed to evade anybody and make any play, no matter how ridiculous, a big play. He is incredibly dangerous. Region 1 in 582 is going to be an absolute battle. His district, Prosper, Walnut Grove, Melissa, obviously Lovejoy as well. You mentioned Argyle and how good they are. There's a lot of really good teams in that district. Just to get the right to probably play South Oak Cliff in the state semifinals, whoever comes out of Region 1 is going to be battle-tested, because matriculating through that top left corner quadrant of the bracket is going to be incredibly hard to do.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And at this time of year, being battle-tested means something and can take you to heights that otherwise you may not reach. All right, hang tight, Mike. We got one thing to do, and we're going to reconvene the group here. But before we do that, as we tell you each and every week here on Friday Night Football Fifth Quarter, it's not just about the football. It's about the cheerleaders. It's about the spirit teams. It's about the dance teams. It's about the bands. And that's why right now it's time to strike up the band. Yeah, that's the South Grand Prairie Band. Listen, they're so good and they're so loud that most bands at these high school games, they only play when their team's on defense. Well, South Grand Prairie is so good, they can't play at all because they're just too loud and they're too good, and they did a great job tonight. Unfortunately, their team couldn't get it done on the field. All right, as we come back out to the Gopher Warrior Bowl, let's reconvene Mike and Michelle as we kind of go over what this night meant to some of the teams that we highlighted and featured for you on this night. Michelle, I'd like to start with you, because a night like that for that Rangers offense is one of those carryover possible games, because they kind of put a lot of things together, some things that they struggled with earlier in the season. How much of a launching pad do you think this could be for Jesuit?
I think they think it could be a huge one. You know, we got to catch up with a couple of those seniors post-game, and you could tell just in the emotion of what they were saying how much this game meant to them. You know, Cade Kirby talking about the fact that they got to play here their senior season, get a playoff win in front of their home fans inside of this stadium where they've put so much in for the last 4 years of their careers. Now, I know they're up against Denton Guyer in the next round of the playoffs, so that is going to be a very tough fight for them. But to your question, do I think this game and this type of performance and putting 65 points up is any sort of momentum? Well, I think it's got to be, if momentum is a thing that you can use into the playoffs. The senior class obviously leading the offensive charge and getting a really great performance in the first round here. Hopefully they can carry that on against Denton Guyer.
Yeah, listen, I think you're right, and I do think momentum is a real thing at this time of year, but you're exactly right, Michelle. Going up against Denton Guyer next, that is going to be a tall order for the Jesuit Rangers. And then, Mike, let's finish with this, because I think those Anna Coyotes are ready for any order that comes their way. I can't wait to see just how good they will be, and I know you can't either.
Yeah, no, so they'll get Amarillo Paladuro in the second round. and then they will get, if they're able to win that game, of course, they will move on. And the other side of the bracket, you've got Melissa and Colleyville Heritage in one of those games. El Paso Andress, I believe, is in one of the games on the other side of that bracket. Probably going to be the winner of that Melissa Colleyville Heritage game, I would imagine, that comes out of that other side that they would face in the third round if they're able to get through Palo Duro, who is a good football team, by the way, 10-1 on the year. Don't sleep on I know people sometimes shoot down Amarillo high school football. Don't sleep on Palo Duro. They can play some ball, but again, the Anna Coyotes are for real. This entire district is for real. There's a reason why they've had the success that they've had all through the season. There's a reason why so many of them have been state ranked throughout this season. So yeah, it's very plausible we see a District 4-5A matchup in that regional semifinal round, perhaps between Melissa. I didn't see who won tonight. Melissa and Colleyville Heritage. I didn't even see what the final score of that one was, but it wouldn't shock me if we saw Melissa and this Anna Coyotes team meeting for a second time this season in the regional semis.
Yeah, it's great stuff. And listen, both of you guys, Michelle, Mike, great stuff as always. The action's really heating up. It's Golden Ball season. It's such a fun time of the year, especially for us to do this here on Friday Night Football fifth quarter. So great job by you guys. I appreciate all the time you put into it. And I appreciate all of you for watching here on WFAA+. That's going to put a wrap on Friday Night Football fifth quarter. We love being under these Friday night lights, and we love when you join us as well. I'm Joe Trahan, and here's hoping you have a wonderful football weekend. Thanks for watching, everyone. Good night.